Here's Jexay's flex to the Mei to get the Orisa and the Ana to the high ground here. Repel will once again be running the Ana. This was a more common pick for him in Season 1 than it was in Season 2, of course. It's been more of a fielder Bebe specialty in Season 2. But as you can see, the supports will stay up here. XC will operate around the grapple, depending on what they face. Because Glister was not subbed out, they could reasonably assume it will be, once again, Genji dive here with Godspeed on the Widow. So how XC operates on the grapple is going to be very important. That's a really important cooldown. See a very aggressive dive forward here already for X6. Let's see if they can get onto the high ground and control these snipers.
Look to the side, it's just going to be cutting around the left for X6 on this approach. So they get ready to move up to the mid ground, but Winston and the D.Va will be dropping over the top. Actually changing their position as Glister goes in very deep to wrap around the backhand side.
Hiding himself as he grabs that Mega Pack. He wants to kind of backdoor this.
Oh man, Godspeed could have been punished for that. They don't find the hit. That's going to be the dive up onto the high ground here. Sleep Dart, however, connects in on the nose bite. He'll get woken back up, but a massive heal tonight comes in from Repel. Rhea falling low, pushes into the side room. Not going to get popped out of that mech yet. It would seem it's actually going to be Dako who goes down first. So great turnaround here from the side of X6. Nearly the first tick coming through. As Element Mystic tried to stay up onto the high ground, they finally drop back down, but Popo's by himself. He's got a Discord Orb in onto him. He'll get taken down. Just the only thing that he can answer is going to be a pop out here for the Baby D.Va, but now Jexay and Guard both fall. Element Mystic, it looked like a great opening on that dive with the bio grenade, but it gets turned on its head very swiftly by X6, who will go ahead and cap this with 6:44 on the clock.
More important than the 6:44 immediately will be the Dragon Blade for Glister. Godspeed will make the switch over to this Brigitte for the longer sustained healing. They want a double cap with this. They're not going to rely on the Widow. They want the sustained healing so they can win the longer fight. As we move in, XC will make the switch over to Hanzo with Guard on the Brigitte to shut down that Dragon Blade. We will see one nano no matter what here before Repel considers the switch. But it's all about this Dragon Blade right now. X6 could get the double cap if they can pull this off. Here comes the dive to try to kill the Brigitte first.
Yeah, that's going to be Guard getting nanoed up as they try to keep him alive. He'll go low. Not going to be finding any kills. Same with Glister. He has to reshoot the blade. Pokebo going to be taken down. No Smite with the Primal Rage. Had the advantage in that regard. Comes through. Self-destruct from Rhea. Finds Repel. XC's going to be dead. The res comes in onto Pokebo to try to put him back into the fight, to try to build up the Primal Rage. He's getting so very close to him, but he might not get it. No, he does not. 99% will get taken down. First hit getting ready to come through the rally. Getting popped by Guard, but he is just going to die as soon as he uses it. Now Jexay joining him in the grave. Repel trying to stay in this one, but he is just going to get stomped. Pepe finds the left clicks coming through, and X6-Gaming looking for a very massive snowball coming in. Push back through, Transcendence ready to go. The Self-Destruct will be caught out. That's going to be the Transcendence in. Self-Destruct not finding anything here for the side of Dako. He'll make it back into the back, but now it's going to be XC and
another
Jexay.
blade.
Both going down. Another blade, as you say, is ready. Throws that one down. Discord Orb into the Pokebo. He can't find the lineup, though, on the swipe. So Glister not going to be getting much, but it's still X6 very handedly winning this fight, looking to get this final cap. Keep just moving the members of Element Mystic in off the point here, ticking up closer and closer as time goes on. They're on and alone. Final contest comes in. Element Mystic just trying to string things together, but it just does not look like it's going to be working out. Guard comes back in, swaps over to the Rhine, but immediately gets burned down. Just one after the other, and that's the same way that they're going to be getting killed. XC falls, Dako out of the mech, Popo comes back in, now he's alone. Leaps to the side, they chase in, they knock him off the point, and that's going to be the cap. 4:45 in the end. Wonderfully done by X6.
Jexay doing his time-buying tactics on the Lucio on Anubis. Once again, he's very famous for those delays, and they were able to buy a minute 45 against the incredible attack here of X6. They were able to shut down the Dragon Blade. They kept the Brigitte alive. That was the key. Is if Glister kills that, then everything falls apart. But even still, with so many resources committed to make sure that Guard did not go down, X6 took the better fight. They won the longer fight, as I was mentioning, with the Brigitte pick. They grabbed that extra AoE healing. They had the burst heals to make sure that Glister could continue. People have been asking and wondering, why is Element Mystic not as dominant this season as they were last season? The amount of plays you can make, especially on Assault, with a player like Glister, that's what they're missing. They had it before in Sparkle. We've seen Guard do this one time on Anubis this season. It was against a weaker opponent. I can't remember off the top of my head who it ended up being. It might have been Blossom. Either way, they do have this is like a missing facet of their play on attack on this map. So that's a little bit scary, right? That's part of the reason why this map is the choice, because you know there's no real Genji player on the side of Element Mystic. So as much as you're concerned about how good their defense is, in this case for X6, they shut it down virtually on their first push. And now on the defense, when they run the same composition, minus the Ana, of course, with Bebe sticking with the Zenyatta, you know that Genji is not a factor here. If it is Guard's Genji, which we have only seen one time this season. He locks it in now. How impactful can he be? Can he live up to the legacy of his old teammate, Sparkle? It's a big, tough ask for Element Mystic right now, but it's just one missing puzzle piece that's going to cause them to struggle here if he cannot perform. Let's find out. This is very exciting. He is keeping it here. It's real. Guard, it's time to prove yourself on the Genji against a tougher opponent.
Push coming through. I believe it was against the Foxes the first time that we saw that come in. It was a very dominant series, as you would expect for their Element Mystic. Glister just going to be spamming away here with the Junkrat. A couple ticks moving forward as he tries to build up for that Riptide.
Looking for the wraparound here is Guard. Very similar to what we saw from Glister.
Spotted
almost
out.
Mirrored.
Be rejoining here with the rest of his team as they push in onto the high ground. He'll dash through, trying to build up as swiftly as he can. Xe finds an opening kill there onto Bebe, but Dako's going to be taken out of the mech. Xe popping back over onto the top side. He gets jumped on by Rhea. He's not going to be able to escape. They try to come over to support him, but it's just a bit too late. The Widow's already gone. They'll just pop out. Guard finds that. Popo follows up with the kill onto the Baby D.Va. X6 still going to be spamming away. One tick gain for Element Mystic here so far. As that ult comes down, Jexing going dangerously low. Surviving here for the moment. Bebe dead again. Roki now under fire. Push forward from Guard, looking for the kill. Deflection in. Bounces that Central Charge back on a Glister, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. But now with no support, no main tank, X6-Gaming likely going to be surrendering this point. And yeah, Godsby, nothing you're going to be able to do on this side. Gets the nice deflection and the finish for the kill. 6:45. Pretty much tied.
Yeah, Element Mystic played so well around Glister, he didn't build a Riptire. That almost never happens. They basically just did not allow him to do damage. Guard's deflection views almost exclusively on Glister. He will have a Riptire here potentially to deny this next Dragon Blade. Godsby switches over again to the Brigitte to shut down the Blade. But if Guard can find a way to thread the needle here, maybe they can get the double cap as well.
Well, that's going to be the Blade drawn out. Guard goes in, gets the knockout there onto Rhea, and will be able to take down the Baby D.Va. Gets rid of the tire as well. Guard! Oh boy! He is really trying to get the snowball over for the side of his squad. Element Mystic start pushing forward, trying to contest this point. No spike going low. Guard dashes in, finds the kill. Transcendence out for Bebe as he tries to stay alive. A smattering of armor here onto him, but it's just from the armor pack, so he's not going to be having that one last. Glister trying to get up for his own Dragon Blade. Sound barriers out from Element Mystic. Self-destruct, tossed into the back, over towards the spawn. Not going to be finding a pick off, and Dako will not make it back into the back. Now Xe and Jexy both going to be falling. X6-Gaming starting to turn this one around before Element Mystic can even get a single tick on the point.
We can't blame Guard for this one. He was able to get double kill into the Riptire to stay alive and to do consistent damage. It was his teammates who were unable to stay sustained. Glister coming in with his own Genji, 80% of the way to a Dragon Blade now as well. They just had the better coordination on the defense. The Element Mystic could not muster that same defense themselves. Now they're going to make the switch to a completely different composition.
Yep.
They will hold the Dragon Blade. Yeah, and this is okay. This actually makes sense in this case because you're looking to, on Assault, always get snowball kills. You can, of course, switch right after this.
Godsby's back over onto the Junkrat. He wants to be able to shut down Guard.
Here's the Blade for Glister.
Yeah, Blade comes down. He gets Guard, takes him out, and the trap actually kills Repel. Damage is already done, so just the one kill for Glister. Still going to be a very welcome side for the side of X6-Gaming here. Element Mystic, they cannot finish with a superior time bank.
Now you have to make the tough decision as Element Mystic. Do you keep the Dragon Blade? Do you run him, or do you swap out the tanks off and run dive? Or do you run this hybrid? You're already now 5 seconds below the time bank of X6. They're going to make the tough decision to pop out the rally to hopefully then have this Dragon Blade pop off. But Bebe has a Transcend. Now you're less worried about a Brigitte, not even a Brigitte on the other side. You're worried about that defensive support ultimate. He dies.
Yep, he is just going to die. Didn't pull out the Blade here, so at least holds on to it, but now will not have any armor on their return. And Element Mystic are still playing forward here into the Catacombs. Trap being destroyed, grenades just getting spammed away. Xe just watching the corner here with that third-person view as they get ready to push forward. Dako leads the charge.
All about the Transcendence here for X6.
Glister starts poking out from behind. A Riptire nearly ready to go from Godsby, getting a lot of ult charge here as he just tosses in the satchel. Gets the hit. It's going to be a Riptire coming down. Pops it straight in, drops it, but the shields are up, and he's not going to be finding that pig, and now he's actually going to be going down. Dako finds the kill. Graviton Surge coming down, and that's going to force the Transcendence out from Bebe. Guard for the Dragon Blade, looking for the Mercy, gets the kill. Glister takes down Jexay, drops down Bebe straight up in front of him. One final hit will take him down, but Glister with his own Dragon Blade gets rid of Repel. So both sides going to be losing out on their supports. Element Mystic, however, are ticking up onto the point. The second one nearly here. Swipes coming through. Second tick yet again going to be halted. They're alone. They're gaining it. Cannot get the finish yet. Baby Diva pushes forward. They'll go ahead, rip Rhea apart. And now it's just going to be the constant stream of members from the side of X6, just trying to buy some time. No Smite jumps over to the side, comes back down. He will die. Cap nearly here with 3 minutes still on the clock. Doomfist comes through. Godspeed finds Jexay, but he will fall. And they just keep pushing in. Full energy, however, for the Zarya. Dako, an absolute monster at the moment, will be ripping them apart, ripping them to pieces. And he has a Graviton Surge. It doesn't matter. Doesn't need it. He'll get the finish, but with 2:59 on the clock.
Dako was the one who opened this point up. If you guys go back and watch, you'll notice that when the fight happened, where they had the second Dragon Blade for guard, Dako was pushing himself super far forward. He had 100 energy, and he was trying to burn through everybody. But he saw he had one moment to drop a grab with no Diva to eat it, to pull Bebe away. Now, he placed it not in a way to set up for a grab into a 6K Dragon Blade kill, which is normally how that works out. He used it specifically where he would not get 6, but in fact where he would get half. He would get the supports away from the rest of the lineup of X6. He pulled Bebe away. Bebe used Transcendence to keep everybody alive, but his Transcendence was not in range to save everybody else, and that's when Guard pulled out the Dragon Blade and got those kills. As soon as the Dragon Blade was done, Bebe was done with his Transcendence. He was out of the grab, and then he was just sliced up by Guard's dash resets. Guard, definitely not the best Genji we've ever seen today, but he looks very good. And you know, you wouldn't be able to tell that he's a rookie Genji player, that he's only played it once in his career. So that's a good sign for Element Mystic going forward into potentially semis if they can close out this series. But they've got a long time bank ahead of them as we head into round 2. They will be on attack first. Guard will again be on the blade. Let's see if they can deny the Rip Tire charge again. That was the big focus for Element Mystic, was to make sure Glister could not get a tire.
For the halt there, Godspeed puts a great shot on a Repel. It's already going to be a nice shutdown onto this push. Guard starts wrapping around from behind, but has a Widow, has a Junkrat that he has to be concerned about here on the point. Grenades just going to be spammed down as they try to avoid these, not give any ult charge over to Glister. And so far it's working out. He just gets one hit there, so now going to be up to 21%.
Yeah, this is actually still pretty good for Element Mystic, just denying that Rip Tire while they slowly try to build up to a
Well,
blade.
that's not going to be great, though. They pile in onto the high ground, and Jexay is going to go down. So both supports having died once here on this assault. 2:15 remaining on the clock. Element Mystic. Can they transfer this into a win? Repel is trying to as he opens things up, takes down Bebe. Special charge out as Glister tries to get the answering kill. They're back onto Repel, but cannot find it at the moment. Drop comes down, couple shots straight into the face. Repel, stuck around for way too long. Pushes back out, he'll get taken down. And now Bebe, after just getting res, will eliminate Pokebo. Knockout onto the mech here as Rhea will fall. XC finds Roki. They're trying to trade this back. Jexay's gonna die. XC finds Godspeed. That stream member's dead. Element Mystic only losing 1. Can they transfer this into a cap on A?
Guard almost has a Dragon Blade. Rhea's trying desperately to remake.
XC just barely missing these shots, but they chase forward. They will be able to knock him down. No Baby Diva, now no Smite, all by himself. He'll get eliminated. This might just be the cap. We'll see if X6 try to go back in for any Hail Mary play to try to get this delay, but it seems like they're going to be setting up 4-point B already.
This could not be more ideal for Element Mystic right now. I can't believe they were able to pull this off on the back of XC's mechanical skill on this Widow. Now setting up for more. He's not going to make the switch, it looks like here, at least until he impresights his opponents. Godspeed switching over to the Brigitte. And that Rip Tire, the Rip Tire that wasn't ready for A, of course, is now ready for B. So it's a very similar, almost mirrored situation to what we just saw earlier. But this time they don't have a Zarya. That was the second push. The first push, let's see if they can actually make it happen here because they only have 80 seconds.
It's going to be a jump forward. Primal Rage nearly ready to go here for Pokemon. No Smite having just swapped over to the Winston. It's going to be a bit further away. Rip Tire's coming through. We'll get a knockout on Dako's mech, so he'll just toss the self-destruct to make it back in. Stick around for this push. Dragon Blade coming down, Godspeed going low, the stun comes in, Guard will just get ran over, maybe with the Transcendence as well, just going to be denying all that damage away. Rez will come out, but now there's no Blade. He gets locked up again and might just get eliminated right off the bat. as a follow-up, and he will. Godspeed just swinging away, comes up with that kill. He'll take down Dako, and Element Mystic will be held at bay. One tick does come through onto the point. They have 40 seconds remaining. One more opportunity.
It wasn't really a very coordinated attack for Element Mystic. They just threw everything at X6 here. We're going to see the Goats comp, but I don't think you have any other choice at this point. You have to hope that you trade up in one of these fights with their sustained healing. But X6 has had all the right defensive ultimates to make sure that would not happen, including the Riptire, the DMX Dako, and the support ultimates. This is going to be this have to be it. This is everything.
Trap comes down, Poke going to get locked up. The bubbles come in, he's got the barrier up, so he'll be fine. Fire Strike comes in, looking for the hit here on the Godspeed to try to eliminate that Brigida as he uses a rally. They're going to be safe. Building up a Transcendence now in 20%. XC goes low in the back line, staying alive barely, but as I say that, No Spike goes forward to the primal range and manages to take him down. Now he's looking for Guard, has him cornered, the bubble comes in, Guard trying to stay alive, trying to build up for that high energy. Will be able to do so for the moment as Repel goes ahead and tosses out that Coalescence. Not going to be seeing any kills coming in yet, but as I say that again, Riptire will come down. Taco tells us to self-destruct, finds Glister, and Guard will fall to Bebe. In onto the point, not even halfway to the second tick. The sound barrier used. Jexay trying to stay alive, trying to keep everybody else in this fight, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be working at all. Another rally coming through from Godspeed as they clean up the mess that is Element Mystic, taking them out. Looking for that team wipe. The OT bar will plummet just over one tick. Is what Element Mystic has to try to defend if they want to move up 2 or 1 in this series.
That's right. Element Mystic.
I was going to say 2-0, but this is map 3, baby.
Element Mystic, you know, they had one shot with this time bank to hit B, and unfortunately this time they threw everything in willy-nilly. They didn't try to play. What they did was, you have two choices when you have a time bank like this and the ults they had. You can either try to play towards completion, or you could try to play towards ideal time bank for a potential third round. Instead of trying to play around the Transcendence and the Brigida to try to bait out ultimates to then have a more efficient Dragon Blade, they tried to win with their first attack. And as a result, they were shut down by a Transcendence, stuns from Brigida, the eventual rally that came out, the Riptire that slowed their push in the first place. You bait the Riptire for Dako, you remag, you come back in with another push, slower, coordinated, try to eliminate those, and then play for capture of B. But if you try to all in for a time bank, when we already have such a small one, then sometimes your attack ends up looking a little bit sloppy. Sometimes you get shut down very hard. The follow-up attack with the Goats comp was all they had left. They were hoping for a sustained push that eventually would get them a tick or two. Didn't happen. That's not their fault. It's just they didn't have much time to work with. For X6 now, though, they've got 5 minutes to just get a single tick here. Glister has shown the better Genji performance. So A, I think, is so important for Element Mystic. If they can hold A for a long time, then suddenly the time bank fades away, and maybe they've got another chance of holding B. Yeah,
it was a really good start for them last time, not with the Bio Grenade, but the kills weren't there to follow up. So it did lead to a very fast cap for X6.
Same comp, same Repel Ana here. As Godspeed's looking to try to get an opening kill. No one is showing in his line of sight.
Oh, he didn't check around the corner. They were looking for Glister. They knew he was there. They didn't check inside the building. Now it's going to be a charge for the dive up onto the high ground. Yet again, the Heal Deny going to be coming down the halt, pulling them together. They get the pop out on Aria's mech, and No Smite falls low. Guard going to be eliminated by Godspeed, but he'll get rest back in, and Jexay doesn't get punished for that. Jexay himself fights back over onto the treehouse.
The most important thing is Arisa's still up here. The Bio Grenade keeps everybody alive. They don't lose their control.
But they might have to drop down shortly here. His first tick already rolling through onto point A. It's going to be Dako going down to try to contest. He's got a self-destruct ready to go. Tosses this one straight up into the air. Will be rejoining back down. Can they eliminate him is going to be the question. The answer is going to be no. Makes it back into the mech. And holds this cap from coming through. Charges in. No Smite's going to die right before he can get the primal rage. No one's in onto the point at the moment. Nano boost thrown down by Repel. Straight up onto Dako. They keep fighting. A halt denying the leap onto the top. But Glister comes up with a double just by dashing through. Draws out the Dragon Blade. And that is going to be the cleanup here for the side of X6 as they look for another cap. 3:45 on the clock. 44.5% is what Element Mystic is looking to hold on to, and XC gets staggered.
The left-click kill here from Glister. He does not have a Dragon Blade for the double cap, but he's got 3 minutes to build one.
They have a Primal, they have a Valkyrie, and the Transcendence. They have plenty of tools here. And as you say, no Riptire yet. Guard just still 19% away. They start moving up. Transcendence going to be used here by Bebe, and Popo by himself will get eliminated. Very crucial pickoff here for the side of X6. No way to get that res off. Now the Goomba Stop comes in and XC will get taken down. Riptire comes out and it's got to be a huge one. Pops it. It's not going to be enough to kill No Smite. He goes in. He gets guard. X6 might just be able to convert this into a win to go over to match point. Lead this series with a 2-1. Valkyrie's out from Dexay, trying to stay out alive. Glister with another Dragon Blade. He's gonna find a 2-for-1 special. Pokebo and Dako both go down, pushes forward, will get stunned, but it doesn't matter. No one from Element Missing is in onto the point, and X6-Gaming will go ahead and take the lead in the series.
They pick a map where they can play to their strengths. They can play to the Glister substitution. They've got a great Genji player, and this backbone of their roster is immediately why the coach comes in and gives him a hug in the booth first. He deserves it. He's had a rough 2 seasons, let's be honest. He was the player who was only subbed in on Junkertown. He came in every now and then as a specialist Genji, but tonight when they need him most, he comes up big. And it's Element Mystic who just can't coordinate well enough around guard. The defensive setups we're seeing from them get broken to pieces by this Genji player. And you mentioned it, you said it first, and you said it very well. You know, you said they might need to go on the high ground, and I think that maybe Element Mystic should have, because when there were only so many heroes that can get back up on that high ground. You're holding Orisa and Ana up there, but if you're losing the ground battle, if you're losing the forces that cannot actually get back up onto the high ground to the dive, then you're going to be fighting a numbers disadvantage as you dash up, you know, into the kill zone there. You pull the blade that you built throughout that longer fight, and then you go to B. And for Element Mystic on the B defenses, they just weren't as coordinated, and they had a lack of ultimates, obviously, on that final push there to defend. It was a better time bank for X6. Element Mystic have so many high expectations on them because of the hype that you and I, honestly, people like Sideshow have kind of put forward for this team. Everyone knows that they choked last season. Then they have another tough season where they lost Sparkle, and yet still they get first place. But they've never even been champions. But everyone has this super high expectation, and I feel like you could feel in the players that it weighs on them. It really does. Like, are we going to lose in the round of 8 again? Are you kidding me? Is this going to happen to the team that's 4th place again, X6? Are we about to repeat our round of 8 from last season? We are 1 map away from being defeated. You could see it in the booth. You could see the coach come through. Like, it definitely weighs on them.
It absolutely does. And, I mean, you can't really blame them. Young players coming through only their 2nd season of competitive Overwatch. But, I mean, X6, I was a little bit concerned for these guys with this map pick of Anubis, but making it work at the moment. Great win coming through for them. And now, at match point, 1 more win. They make it into a semifinal where they were playing against Runaway. That was our semifinal in Season 1, Wolf.
Yep, we could have revenge potential for Runaway. You could just see Guard, look, he's mechanically a great Genji, even though he's never played, but the team playing around his Dragon Blade, it just feels like it's been too long since Sparkle has left the roster, and they just cannot make those follow-up kills happen as consistently. Here's another Blade. This is the one that gets shut down. Where look at all the ultimates he was facing off against.
Yeah. That double kill coming in for Glister with a dash is what really broke things open.
Oh,
Godspeed from there was able to take over, get a couple headshots coming in. A nice stagger on the Xe as well, but
Riptide doing nothing there on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, Primal Rage comes out immediately. Like, not much more that you could do in that situation.
You can tell that even though X6 doesn't field Glister consistently, they scrim with him a lot. You can actually feel that the coordination with this guy is there, despite the fact that they've had such weak performances in televised matches with him, especially on Junkertown. The map choice now belongs to Element Mystic. We've been here once before. It's not a reverse sweep, but their life is on the line. It's not a control map, it's the escort map. They will have to win. This time they're going to have to force the control map. Their best map type is, or the best map of this type is Dorado, but they will take us to Gibraltar.
Okay, Gibraltar will be coming out. We've seen a lot of different situations with this map, whether it's a full hold or just multiple pushes going all the way to the end.
It's another map where their Torbjorn defense is legendary, it's famous.
Yep.
But are you really going to place your tournament life on a Torbjorn defense of Gibraltar? That says a lot about the team, if that's what they're going to choose. What a risky call. What a ballsy move here for what may be our last map of the round of 8.
Well, right now, from what we can tell, doesn't seem like there's going to be any Torbjorn coming out from the side of X6.
Nope.
Just going to be pretty standard across the board. No double sniper either, which has been pretty popular as far as this map is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, X6 isn't really the type of team to run the Torbjorn, but this is their first map ever of Gibraltar. Another reason why the Element Mystic coaching staff probably chose this map, the lack of experience. Glister will stay in the booth, and he will be playing the Brigida here to be safe, to do the catch-all. This is a Hanzo-less Gibraltar. Very rare to see that.
Absolutely. Well, Element Mystic immediately jumping over onto this high ground, pushing around the corners. The barriers come down from both of these Winstons. But no one going to be, well, caster curse. No one going to be getting killed yet, but it's going to be guard. As Glister comes up with the opening kill of Gibraltar.
Looks like he dropped down in order to get it, so he's just going to head back up now.
Yeah, just going to go ahead and wrap around. We're just moving into the car wash at the moment.
Yeah, now let's see if he drops down once again, as XC is looking for a spot here.
Sliding his way through there very slowly. I think he might have actually dropped off that position. And now guard will be on the Hanzo. So we do have that coming through.
Yep, well, they're getting halted now. This is where the stop comes through. But yeah, the Hanzo pick, I think, is so quintessential to this map. You can break the tanks with this, with your Storm Arrow. He doesn't get an opening pick. He does a lot of damage.
Yeah, a bit of damage in on the Rhea. Now going to be looking for Bebe. Can't quite let on the shots. And Repel will get taken down by Godsby in the crossfire. No Spite jumps forward, finds Pokeball. Locks him down. Good start here for X6. They can stabilize.
To put this into perspective of our last series, you could see why Godsby does not allow Guard to have the same performance that we saw from Yaki on Dorado earlier from MVP. You have a good Widow, it just becomes so much more difficult to use the Hanzo on the high ground for free damage. And that's exactly what Godsby is trying to prevent right now. See, he's sneaking around, he's got the tanks to protect him. Trying to find the enemy Widow, is just unfortunately not able to get a line of sight at the moment.
Self-destruct ready to go. Repel dead again at the start. Dako just going to be dumping that self-destruct in. Primal range coming out from Pokemon, trying to knock them in, but Glister is going to be the one fragging out of control as he comes up with another kill. Guard will go down. XC finally able to answer one back as he gets rid of that enemy Brigida, but moving up the cart, even from this position, is still going to be so very tough as Jexay will fall. XC gets the shot on the Godsby, but Roki takes him down, and then we'll just go ahead and res his comrade.
That's the most important part of this. Godsby will, of course, have to respawn to come back over, but they won the fight, so, you know, the res onto Glister here is more important. They want him to actually be building that ult charge. Godsby's already got his, and it's less impactful overall. Repel, we're watching him here for just a moment, but we really need to be watching Guard's approach now on this Brigida. Another hero swap for this player, as he just tries to get XC into position, but X6 is playing so well around sightlines right now.
Yep. Denying everything here, while they know that that infra site is going to be up. Repel dropping onto the low ground. Has that Transcendence to try to keep everybody alive, and we're going to hear that first rally come in as Glister pops it. No Spike going to die before he can use the Primal Rage, but it doesn't really matter because X6 are still coming up with the kills. Another one there as Guard goes down. Jexay going to be swapping over to the Lucio, so maybe this is just going to be a Goats comp swap for the side of Element Mystic.
But it's such desperation right now. Element Mystic.
A minute remaining. Yeah, they're going to be doing this.
First seeds against fourth. Remember, guys, I know X6 is the defending champions, but they had a bad season. They finished with 2-3, and Element Mystic is just struggling to even scratch them right now.
I mean, the pressure is on, and Element Mystic losing 0-4 to MVP Space is what allowed them to make it into the playoffs for the first time. So these guys are coming off the back of an absolutely massive loss. That is going to be shattering for them. Their mental state seems like maybe they haven't recovered here for this quarterfinal. Dako going to get knocked out of the back. Glister will die. Good pressure alleviation here for the side of Element Mystic as they charge forward to try to get in onto the point, but Bebe takes on Repel. So now one support going to be dead, and they can't quite get Bebe without a headshot, which they don't have because he's got a Transcendence. Godsby now going to be popping that infra site. Looking for Jexay, but he's going to find Guard instead. Taking down the Zarya, taking down Jexay. He gets them both! Drop down! This corridor onto Dako. He is going to fall with 14 seconds remaining. X6 looking to full hold Element Mystic here on Gibraltar. The final map of the series, perhaps. Element Mystic, can they do anything here in these final moments?
I don't think so. I think this is it. Godsby's just untouched up here. They're playing so well around him. No one can get up here for Element Mystic.
Oh, headshot there, but it wasn't full charge. Can't take down XC. Okay. He's able to answer. That's going to be Godsby going down, but Popo will die.
Now or never.
Reinhardt up forward, and he has that Earth Shatter nearly ready to go. Something struck out from Dako to try to buy some space. Res comes back in. Godsby back into the fight. They start pushing the cart forward, but it's going to be stopped 2.73 meters away. And the shots back and forth as the Widows just continuously duel against each other. Jexay now nearly with the sound barrier will have that. There's going to be the Graviton Surge thrown in as well as they try to win the fight. Bebe and Glister go down. No Spite's going to fall. Maybe Element Mystic can actually push this across the line into point A, and it seems like they're going to be able to do so, but my God, was it close. close.
So important they get this too, because even if they don't get B now, they can still play around their Torbjorn strategy. If they got full held, the Torbjorn is worthless. You won't be able to hold that with the Torbjorn strategy forever. The Torbjorn strategy is designed to buy time, but it won't hold A forever. And it would mean their map pick overall, just conceptually, was completely worthless. Now they're pushing towards B. They can, no matter what the time pick is, you feel amazing as Missing now because you know, okay, our Torbjorn buys a lot of time on this map. That's what we're known for. High ground control here, obviously to X6, so Missing needs to be cautious as they come around here. Be ready for the dive to drop down. Here it comes.
Well, they have opted out of that Widow battle. It's going to be the swap. Yeah, Godspeed now going to be operating on the Tracer. No Smite going to die. They keep charging forward. Great time here on this hangar phase as Pokeball gets lit up. Trying to stay alive. Knockout onto the mech for Rhea. He will fall. And Element Mystic now, they have the momentum backing them. They're going to roll this into B. 3 minutes now on the clock as they go for the final approach.
X6 needs to be willing to change compositions. This feels very reminiscent of Numbani, where they did not. They were shut down hard. The swap is coming through finally here. You have to make the question, is it a little bit too late? The 0 time bank becomes a massive time bank now for Element Mystic pushing to C comparatively. If they can get XC onto this high ground, it's going to be so difficult for X6 to operate with this. But at least they do make the swaps. They did not on Numbani.
Dartford coming through, Dako tossing up the self-destruct. The pin comes in, and Bebe is going to be the first one to fall as Poker finds the kill. Guard, high energy here, kites his way into the building, keeping himself safe from Rhea's self-destruct. He won't make it back into the mech. Loki taken down by Jexay. Reinhardt's going down on both sides. Element Mystic not moving the card up here for the moment.
Free reign.
Godspeed falling.
Free reign for
XC. Give them a lot of room. Now it's going to be 4 members pushing forward. XC all the way back here. Just playing with a wonderful line of sight.
It's fish in the barrel for him now, and it's a free push. One more chance here for X6 to shut this down.
Working their way out, Pokeball nearly with an Earth Shatter. Guard does have that Graviton Surge ready to go. He's trying to wait, tosses it out. It's going to be swinging the win here. Pokeball pushing forward, and it's an absolute slaughter for Element Mystic as they come up with so many kills. Bebe goes low, tries to tag in, but he just can't do it in time. That is going to be the completion. Element Mystic turning what looked like an absolutely awful situation into a full push here on Gibraltar.
Perfect grab by Guard, watching closely the enemy positioning of the Diva. As Rhea comes in to try to shut it down, he waits until the exact perfect moment where the defense matrix is gone. He tosses it up at the right angle, and they get the finishing blows there. Very reminiscent of Numbani. They're able to take this Goat's Cop and push it all the way to the end. Obviously the variation with the Widowmaker, which is required on this map. But can they get the full hold with the Torbjorn again? That is the big question. If they can do that, we see a 5th map. If they do not, the idea is going to be to prevent the time bank as much as possible. They may just simply be running the Hanzo Widow here with Guard and XC. That may be their plan of operation if they don't want to run the Torbjorn, but the Torbjorn is what they are known for, burning through that time bank. And look at Repel, top right. Torbjorn's locked in.
Yep. Unsurprising.
It's predictable, but again, just like on Numbani, it's so difficult to deal with when executed well.
It's going to make or break the defense, that is for certain. So 1 minute and 51 was the finishing time here for Element Mystic. I mean, starting off from nearly being full held on A, which we have seen in the past, but it's extremely rare.
They've done a lot of full holding with the Torbjorn, but like, yeah, normally you don't get full held with the comp that X6 was running, unless the attacking team is just significantly worse than you mechanically, which you know is not the case. But they just played around Godspeed's line of sight so well. It was only the Goats comp they were able to make work.
A great momentum shift for the side of Element Mystic. Can they maintain it here on defense? That is going to be the question. Jexay with the Ana, if he gets taken out, everything likely just going to spiral out of control.
Rhea was able to identify the Torbjorn early last time, and then he was able to blow it up with self-destruct, but they still weren't able to get the capture. It was Farah.
Blisters on Bastion.
Okay, well, this is one way to break through that turret and the armor that Torbjorn can provide. It's the burst damage. There's not a lot of mobility with this comp versus Numbani because there's just not a lot of room. There's not a lot of space. Like, you don't actually have the same way to move around. And the Bastion in this case has the cart and the Orisa barrier, which is not really possible on Numbani.
If Guard can weave some of these nades in here, this will destroy that Bastion very rapidly. You can see already Glister going to be pushed off the cart. Moved back over to the side. Yeah, they try to work their way back through.
Can be, of course, grabbed by Halt in this patch.
Yep.
Guard's going to sneak around. That could be massive damage. It's a risky choice, but I like it here.
Looking for a nice flank. Daco's in the backside. He'll deny in onto the mech, but he'll be fine for the moment. Godspeed gets a pick off there on a guard. That's going to alleviate a lot of pressure here for Glister if he can get set up. Of course, no res to be found. There's no mercy here for Element Mystic on this defense. And a boost ready for Bebe. He's going to toss that one down. It's going to be in onto the Bastion as he starts pushing forward. Just going to be in his recon mode. Sprays down that turret there. Gets a breakout onto the mech. The tire coming down, but it's going to get interrupted. Glister finds the shots, lines him up, takes him down, and then we'll just go ahead and split this defense from Element Mystic in half. Repel into the backside. Does have that molten core, but that's going to be a drop into the turret form, and he is not going to last very long as Glister has a little bit of a celebration. Just spamming around like a madman.
Very well played here by X6. Good execution. Opening, drawing the aggro onto the Bastion, the halts, the Junkrat left clicks, the concussive mines, then pulling Godspeed into line of sight. He gets the double kill. They break through the turret using the Bastion. And that's all she wrote. They're going to stick with it for now, as it's very difficult to prepare for this.
Yeah, push down here from Daco. Going to drop that self-destruct just to force him back off the cart. Not going to be finding any picks as he tries to make it back into the mech. Spray comes in. Glister now with the tank. Ready to roll. Popo and Guard going to be dead. Big openings here as Daco gets knocked out of the mech yet again. Now it's going to be the res, and he says, okay, it's tank time. Pops that one up, looking for a target. Everybody else just dying around him. Gets one, but will get taken down by Repel on the backside, but they'll chase in, looking for the Zenyatta. They will be able to burn him down, so the cart going to keep pushing forward here for the side of X6.
He can honestly switch to the Genji now if he wants to. Suits the composition, but he's going to stay with the Bastion. And it's so difficult to actually get set up against this, and it's tough to actually know what comp you want to run when you don't scrim against this, when you don't encounter this in Korea. So I actually like that while the momentum is still there, is that they continue to run the Bastion. He will switch now, though, to the Tracer, holding it for a little bit longer, just teasing me.
Guard into the back, trying to build up that pulse bomb, constantly harassing Bebe and Godspeed. Nano Boost going to be coming through as Rhea charges forward, finds a kill on the Jexay, follows up for a double as Repel will go down. No supports available for the side of Element Mystic as they try to hold off X6-Gaming. They are so close to finishing here on to point B with a significantly better time bank than we saw from Element Mystic. 3:15 still going to be on the clock. Looking to push over towards 5 minutes here with this cap.
Yeah, there's just no way they can stop this anymore. It's going to be the 4:30 time bank here as Repel gets caught. Glister is just popping off tonight. It's the Genji, it's the Bastion, it's the Tracer.
This guy is
somebody stop this guy. And now, you know, this player who we almost never saw subbed in except when the series either won or lost already. He comes in and carries hard. X6 have the massive ult advantage, and they were just going to throw some of those away to switch to a proper composition here to end this map. The Glister pick onto this means that Godspeed can wait here. Look at this, that was so smart, that was so smart!
Absolutely brilliant!
What a godlike play right there. Godspeed hides behind the shield, he expects the pop out from XC, he kills him. So well played. Oh my god! So well played.
Cart can start inching forward, he's looking forward again. Still hiding behind the shield. Glister doing wonders here for his squad, and Godspeed just landing that shot. Doesn't even need the infra side, he's still holding on to it. He didn't use it to try to get that pick off. It's not like he knew exactly when the pick was coming out, or the poke out was coming out. But
sure. Now
it's going to be the self-destruct into the back. Guard going to go down. Glister does get punished, but not before he can pop Daco out, and Godspeed follows up for the kill onto the Baby Diva. Now it's going to be Glister rezzed back in, so X6 operating in the 6v4 as Guard comes back up.
Repel has to live here, okay? He does not get shot by Godspeed. If he was dead, then that might have just been it. Yep. They need that Transcendence to buy time.
Absolutely. Jump to the side, no smite going in. Doesn't have that primal range, but XC is going to be taken out. Poke. Primal available, he's going to use it. Daco with a self-destruct can buy some space. No smite from the side, taken down by the Storm Arrows here by Guard, alleviating a lot of pressure as Poke tries to rejoin to the rest of his squad. Dangerously low,
he's
one
living.
More shot will take him down, but the barrier is there to help sustain him. Rez comes out, no smite going to be back into the mix. Nearly has his ult. Dragon Strike comes in, but they're just going to split right across that one, and now it's going to be Jexay going down. Daco out of the mech, Rhea as well, but Popo goes down. There's no tanks available for the side of Element Mystic. No mercy. Repel already used that Transcendence, doesn't have anything, and Jexay is going to be desperately swapping over to the Lucio just to try to rejoin. They are 0.0. They are just a sliver away, literally a millimeter away from the complete, and they will be able to get it.
They do get it, and they do get the better time bank. Very close end to Gibraltar here. Element Mystic now have to go the distance. They've got to push this so far. And remember, with a larger time bank, how much they struggled. They were nearly full held on A. They will have to attack first with the smaller time bank. They're going to hope for a much better situation than previously. Their Torbjorn comp shattered by the Bastion attack. The Ana nano boost there, where the Sentry mode came up big. He was able to get those kills. Element Mystic, they already look defeated, but it's not over yet. One big push here. If they can give control of the Widow War over to XC versus Godsby, which was the opposite of what happened for the majority of their A attack. If he can win that matchup just one time, then maybe, just maybe, they get a good time bank here on A, but they're about 45 seconds behind in terms of that time bank. For the defense, it will be the same setup that we saw previously. Godsby looking to control line of sight to crush XC in that matchup. I think they're crazy if they're going to try to run the Junkrat attack. I don't think that's actually what we're going to see. Glister is standing next to the spawn because as soon as his team sees what comp it is, he's willing to switch. If he sees that it's the Goats comp, he may just switch over to the Junkrat, actually. Yep, that's exactly what happens here. That's why he was standing in spawn, sees it's the Goats. So they have the right solution set up here. XC just not willing to duel with Godsby this time. They're going to try a completely different approach, and I can really appreciate that.
Gonna start pushing forward here. Poison Trap not gonna find anything. Spam's coming down from Glister above. Just looking for any hits that he can possibly get so far. Not finding a whole lot of anything. Central Charge as well gonna be missing. Drops that one back down. Shields are up. Denying that damage away. Hey, good initial push coming through for Element Mystic as they try to stay alive. Actually throwing on that armor pack to Popo, helps keep him sustained. Dako getting burned low, drops back down, manages to stay alive very barely. Spam coming down from Repel as he now gets the Coalescence ready to go. They'll be holding it here for the moment.
69-79 here for Glister on the Riptire. That may just be RIP for Element Mystic here on this final map.
Get ready, he's gonna have it. They're all grouped up at the moment. We're coming down, it's gonna be right in front of him, it's gonna find XC. The Glister will get taken down. Coalescence out from Repel, shifts to the side, burns down that Junkrat. We have 40 seconds remaining here on the clock. No one else gonna be falling at the moment. Self-destruct comes out from Rhea. Not gonna make it back into the mech. Dako now using his, I do believe, Note's gonna be spamming back up. Didn't have it quite available, it would seem. Or Shatter is set here from Popo. Transcendence out from Bebe to buy some time. Kills Rhea back up to full.
Guard survives and he's got a grab.
Or Shatter just being held. That's gonna be that grab coming through. Sound barriers out, and it's gonna be Element Mystic coming up with the kills. Rhea and No Smite both going down. Now no tank line, now no healers. X6-Gaming, their defense will crumble.
They have to give
11 seconds remaining. They will get this cap, but
Yeah.
that's gonna be it. There's gonna be overtime coming through. They still have a Shatter. They still have a self-destruct.
Okay, so Bebe's going to play around his Ana again. That's what he's had so much success with tonight against the goat compositions or the triple tanks we've been seeing from Element Mystic. Bebe, if he can get big biotic grenades, then it becomes all the easier to blow up this composition, especially with the Junkrat. So I like this switch. But Element Mystic, it's so difficult to dethrone them. Remember, they went all the way to the end on Nibani. They went all the way to the end on Gibraltar with this comp. So getting A was the hardest part. Now it's so much easier for them, even though it's in overtime.
Self-destruct out, not going to be finding anything other than the pop out there for Rhea's mech. Roki going to fall. Element Mystic can keep pushing forward. Now there's no res available, no smite. Going low, nearly has a primal range. Will get it, will be able to pop it right off the start. Bow, he uses that Earth Shatter. Now it's going to be Riptire coming in. Repel going to be the first one to fall here in the fight. Tire goes in, gets rid of guard. They have to stay in onto the cart. They drop off for just a second. It almost plummets down. They managed to tank back in. Popo still taking a ton of damage from this Winston, just burning him down, but they cannot quite kill him off yet. The leap comes in. Nano Boost is in. The Reinhardt's going to be gone. Jexay going to be burned down. They can't stay in onto the cart. The OT ticks away. And Element Mystic will get stopped here halfway through the hangar.
Once again, though, they are able to push this through past A, which means that they can operate a Torbjorn defense. It was shut down last time by the Bastion. This time it could be a different story if we could see some sort of variation. Positional change, there are different ways to make sure the Bastion pick cannot just burst it down. They can place the turret further back. But if they run it the same way again, they may just simply be crushed by the Bastion again. But X6, they have a smaller time bank. So as Element Mystic, I think you've got to make a tough decision. Do you want to run the Torbjorn again, or do you want to try to run what X6 has been running, the more standard defense here? It's a tough call either way when your tournament life is on the line. But all they have to do is hold A, and we are going to a game 5. But
oh boy.
Looks like we may have a short break here for some reason.
Might be having some sort of issue, dare I say. Not positive what is going on, but XC.
Well, he's gone.
Okay, XC is he's using the bathroom, so we have a toilet issue. Hey, can I go do the same thing?
Probably.
That's gonna be the question that I want to ask.
All right, so
well, that had to have been an emergency here for him to be able to sprint out of the booth like that.
yeah.
And you know, in these tense situations, it really can be tough to hold it together.
I mean, he's probably gonna do the whole like look at yourself in the mirror, wash your, put your hands on the sink, and then slap your face with the water thing. Like,
look at me, you can do this.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna do that because.
Are you talking to me?
His defense here, whether it be on the Widow, the Hanzo, whatever he wants to run, depending on the situation, obviously, it's going to him in particular. His performance on this Widow has been a little bit off tonight versus Godspeed. Normally, you would say XC crushes Godspeed on the attack no matter what. On the first run through, that was not the case. So he's going to have to keep his wits about him because he's going to have to be the one who needs to step it up to bring us to that 5th game. As we head into this, I mean, there's just so much on the line. Element Mystic, if they win this, they go to control, but this time it's them forcing it. They lost last time on that 5th game, that faded game against O2 Ardent. What a great playoffs this has been again. I mean, we knew that it was going to be tough to top last season, and you know, some may say the round of 8 hasn't done it yet, but XC's back in the booth.
Okay.
He dashed back in.
Let's roll this one out. Let's see what they can do.
So this is the moment where we're going to unpause the game, and Element Mystic will look to hold here to bring us to a 5th and final map. If they fail to do so, it's going to be lights out, and X6 will once again face Runaway in the semifinals. It all comes down to this.
Is where they need to make it in order to close this one out. Torbjorn set up here for Element Mystic. Can they extend this to a 5th and final map? Or will X6 be able to push just past them in the hangar and advance into a semifinal where they will face Runaway yet again?
It will be the Widow and the defensive Torbjorn once again, all on the line. Whether you go into semis or not, it's decided in this moment right here. Glister on the Genji. It's Dive versus Torbjorn. A tough thing to pull off. Rhea will do the check, and they may switch the composition here to Goats. They've got 2 minutes 30. They're going to do the Bastion again.
They're doing the Bastion yet again.
It worked so well last time. Why not run it again, baby?
Yeah, going to be moving over to this. Godspeed still going to be sitting here with the Widowmaker, trying to open things up as they get distracted by the Omnic. X6 start inching forward, haven't shown their hand yet, but now they will as Glister moves up and gets set up behind this barrier.
The first halt is the biggest problem for X6. If they can keep the Bastion on the point after that, that's the key. Barrier's down, Repel takes a ton of damage, he's back. He's got his own armor.
He'll be healed back up. Glister spamming away. Godspeed's gonna be eliminated though. Dako actually comes up with the kill there.
Sleep as well.
Drop down, yeah, charge coming through. They're gonna isolate Glister and he is gonna get eliminated. XC finds a shot in midair. Do they just swap? Getting back to the cart. With this Bastion, you would have to wait for the rollback. I think you have to change this up.
I think so too. It just got shut down so hard. They altered the way they were playing this. They played more passively, and they played around the Diva missiles here.
They're going to try to push up on the high ground and then drop down onto the cart with the Bastion.
That's the idea.
Okay, so
you can't approach the cart with this Bastion any other way right now. You have to drop down. Otherwise, you're going to get blown up by XC and also these grenades. Poke gets healed tonight, but it won't matter that much at the end of the day.
Yep. It's going to be fine.
50% to that Molten Core. That's how they win this game.
Oh, Dako looking for that swoop in to try to knock him down to isolate Glister yet again. Big shot comes in on a nose fight. He'll fall low. They manage to get the turret here. Repel, he can put up another one. He's already at 73%. See now, percent ready to go. Dako getting shredded down. Will fall out of that mech. Rhea finds that
It's a high to low
here.
attack.
That's going to be Dako going down. Rhea is just escorting this one through. Bebe falls low. Holt comes in. They shred in onto Poco for just a little bit. Now it's going to be a entire guard fights too! Roki and Bebe both going down and Repel manages to find the kill here on Glister. That stream member's dead and they now have that Molten Core ready to go. Element Mystic looking to pull this one off.
It's the Molten Core.
35 seconds remaining.
It's the Molten Core. That's the most important part of this.
They've got self-destruct. They've got Molten Core. Now Rhea's going to be dead. That's going to be a massive stagger.
The time bank, 30 seconds, might as well be 0. They have to do this in one push. That's all they have. It's not about the time. It's about the pushing here. As Bebe holds the nano. My voice becomes robotic. X6 This is do or die time. You can go to the semifinals again if you win this push right now.
They're still looking for him, but Glister is gonna die right at the start. The res will be there. Loki trying to pull him back in, but he is going to get punished for that. Self-destruct forward, Rhea finds the kill onto the turret, but that is going to be the Molten Core still here. Lister back through, configuration tank, but he can't get away from the self-destruct. He manages to deny the remake there from Dako. The Repel pushes forward, he finds no spite. Rhea's going to die. They're looking for the full hold, and I think Element Mystic have it. They do, in fact, and we're going to Game 5, boys. Element Mystic pull it off.
They do indeed. This squad is able to bring us to a Game 5. It was last time. They were nearly reverse swept when they faced O2 Ardian. 3 maps in a row, they went to Lijiang Tower. No one will forget Guard tossing in the EMP on that last map. When they had so much extra time, they choked and they had a weak performance. It was the first time they had ever lost. But they've seen loss now. They lost in the playoffs. They did not have a perfect season. They lost to MVP Space with a 4-0 against them in their last regular season match. So they come off a loss. In this series where we've got the back-to-back trades in this hot weather, management bringing in the cold water, and for the first time, it's not Dako who's got his head in his hands, it's the squad of X6 who were so close they could taste victory. They had a dominant run through playoffs in Season 1, but this season, they find themselves so close, but yet no cigar here, as the Torbjorn defense thwarts them a second time. First on Numbani, then as we head into Gibraltar, twice in a row, this defense brings us to a 5th map. The last time these teams faced off, or rather the last time Element Mystic went to a Game 5, Seth wasn't in the bathroom. But this time I'm here alone, and we are going to that Game 5. So, you know, either way, this is a moment where the map choice is going to be everything. And as we look back through the control win rates here, Nepal remains the best win rate for Element Mystic historically. Oasis was the map we expected to see based off their performances this season. But it's not their map choice like it was last time when they picked the Lijiang Tower. The last 2 control maps they picked, Lijiang against O2 after the loss, and then of course tonight with the first place seed they had in groups. For X6, they have the opportunity to pick Achilios. And I think that's where we will head as we take a look at some of these highlights here. This was an incredible moment where Glister is able to use this shield to get a free shot, predicts where XC is, and gets the kill. As I'm now rejoined by Achilios.
Hello!
I made the quick speed run to the restroom.
I was doing my best XC cosplay, so apologies, but long day, lots of fluids being consumed here.
Oh yeah.
To try to keep our voices healthy.
Oh my God, it's almost midnight.
And
yeah,
it's almost midnight, and we have very limited opportunities to go to the bathroom. So sometimes you have to create your own opportunities.
Sometimes that's how it goes, as it looks like we may yet again have a substitution. Order will be subbed back in for Glister. So this is when we head back to a map that's Zarya-centric. As we head into control, that is an essential sub. Order started the season off as our first MVP on the Zarya after his Hanamura performance in particular. But now as we end the first round of 8 of playoffs here, or the second, excuse me, of playoffs, he may close it out. This is a tense moment here. So Levi here from Element Mystic having a fairly serious discussion with XC about probably whether he wants to run McCree or Widowmaker. Because those are the 2 options for him usually on control, especially in terms of Oasis. Lijiang is where we've seen the most of his Widowmaker on control, but that's obviously not available here for X6 to choose. I'm still thinking that we will be going to Achilios for this final map, a map that plays towards the strengths of X6, very good for Zarya. Oasis, you know, you already crushed them on a similar style of comps. You're going to have that advantage, I think, going into University. But when you go to the Pharah aspects of the map, like that's something I'm not sure you really want to mess around with right now with Order in the booth. I think you want to play a map where you're more consistently able to play that Zarya. And Brigida,
yeah,
which is where Achilios is going to take us if that's how they want to play this.
See what the final decision is going to be from X6. But massive pressure on both sides. Element Mystic pull off that hold on Gibraltar to extend this series, keep their hopes alive of making it to their first semifinal by taking down the defending Season 1 champions. I mean, even looking at the Grand Final, looking at both of these teams, I think this is the highest pressure situation that either of them been in.
Yeah.
The Grand Finals was a breeze for X6-Gaming, but this whole season has been a bit of a struggle. They've had their ups and downs, and now they're getting potentially knocked out of this by the young blood squad of Element Mystic.
This is a moment where you really have to, I think after this is over, you look at Element Mystic one way or the other. One is that they were able to overcome what happened to them in Season 1 and were able to keep their composure, or that they're cursed and that they just simply are unable to in high pressure situations. They have, I mean, I think you could almost say that this team has a weak mental fortitude if they're able to be defeated here by X6 again. Remember, this is a first seed team against fourth seed twice. They've been in this Game 5 situation. Last time it was reverse sweep. This time it was a much closer series. They were only able to take both. I mean, the only real success we see from Element Mystic, real talk, is when they've been able to run goats on a push. It was on Nimbani, where they pushed all the way to C with that. And then, of course, on Gibraltar, where we saw something very similar. If you take those two things away, they were crushed on control, and on assault, they ran into very similar problems with their Genji hero pool problem. On control, you're unable to run and operate around a payload. You're unable to squat with these, with the Zarya Reinhardt and just turtle and tank on it, with guard kind of being the forefront of that. You cannot do that on control. So, it's they've only really been able to get one facet of Overwatch play, plus the defense on Torbjorn that they found great success with. So that's the other thing that they found defense with. I don't want to take everything away from them, but X6 has shown multiple different facets of strategy and depth in their roster tonight. This doesn't make them the better team. Whoever wins this 5th map is the better team that goes to semifinals, of course. But I think I just wanted to point out that mechanical skill-wise, again, Runaway won the first series. Element Mystic, the team that's undefeated in regular season. Most would argue right now their form is stronger mechanically. But they've choked a little bit in the past. They've brought us to this 5th game now. They're the ones who bring us there. Will X6 just play the standard, play the meta here on control again, while Element Mystic tries to reinvent it with something weird like the Mei, like the Sombra? If they do that, then suddenly, maybe X6 just plays standard, plays consistently. I mean, if I think back, I don't think, has X6 ever not made playoffs? Apex Season 3, they made at least the round of 8. They made they got to the first round of 16.
Yeah, because then they knocked, I think X6 is the ones that knocked NBS out of the playoffs, yeah.
And then they were able to get top 4 in Apex Season 4. Then in Contenders Season 1, they're champions. And now in their 4th season of Overwatch here in Contenders Season 2, they may once again eliminate Element Mystic, coming in as 4th seed with a 2-3 scoreline. X6 is the face of consistency, whereas Element Mystic is mechanical skill, coordination, until the pressure's on. And that's when things change.
Well, it certainly is. Pressure being amplified here as we get ready to figure out what our 5th and final map of the evening of the round of 8 will be. Nearly midnight here in Korea. Been broadcasting for so long that it's actually become a reasonable hour for the West Coast to wake up and join in. For those of you who have been here from the start, thank you so much, you the real MVPs. But it's going to be Nepal to go ahead and finalize this series.
This is Element Mystic's only undefeated map, but X6 has a 3-1 score here, so it's a strong map for both teams. It's a map where you're going to be basically playing around Reinhardt, Zarya a lot. McCree and also Reaper can be big factors here on this map. They did not sub Alpha back in, so it's Popo in the booth. Let's see how Element Mystic want to play this. Are they going to change the meta? Are they going to try to reinvent the wheel again? Or will they try to use their mechanics and play standard against our defending champions? That's what this 5th map is all about.
And here we are to start things off on Sanctum. Fans hanging in here till the wee hours of the evening. It'll be midnight before this series is over. We'll figure out who is joining Runaway in that semifinal on Sunday to try to qualify for the grand final. The other team going home for a decently long while until we figure out about Season 3.
So Zariel is here for X6. So putting order again onto this Brigida.
Godsby on the hog.
Yeah, he's played it quite a bit in the past.
See how this one's going to work out for them as the teams clash here in onto the point. Already a lot of damage on the no swipe, but he'll get powered back up. Order tossing out that armor pack. We'll be generating a lot of ult charge here, but XC as well just swinging the win. And that's going to be 2 kills. Make it 3. Going the way of Element Mystic as they take down no smite there at the end. Dako coming up the kills with the rockets, and that's just going to be a bail off the side for Rhea as the boom comes down from Jexay.
His second of the push, he was able to eliminate, I believe, Gonsby actually first, as he just shows off some wall ride skills here. Getting those extra kills builds up his ult charge a little bit more as well. Some extra damage and healing puts him at 60% of a sound barrier compared to the 10% lag behind here for Roki. They're going to approach with the speed boost here.
Charge forward coming down. Going to be dropping the hammer, and that's going to be Order dying off the start. No smite as well will be falling. Chase forward, looking for a couple staggers. They're going way deep out here towards this dropship. We'll have to kite their way back.
They have the armor here from XC as well. As long as Element Mystic play around the gate and do not step out of the over the line, if they do not step outside here where they could get caught by the Earth Shatter here of no smite or just a dash, like a charge kill, then they should have massive advantages, especially with this support ultimate here that Repel is holding. They're going to kite back, though. They respect X6's approach.
Forward lessons ready to go, tossed down by Repel. He's opening things up.
No smite, no up again!
That's going to be no smite. And as you say, Jexay finds another angle, sends him into the pit, and Order will go down. Shield Bastion knocks Rhea out the mech, takes out the Baby Diva, and X6-Gaming. They're building up ultimates here, but they're running out of time. 60% already gained for Element Mystic.
Okay, so how this next push is going to happen for X6 is it's going to be the grab to start things off, very likely into a shatter. Watch Godsby here. Jexay above.
Coming in, the shield's there, however, so it's going to be denying that one away. They say, fool me once, fool me twice, not the third time. Sound barrier's out from Jexay, trying to keep everybody hopped up as the members of X6 push forward. Graviton Surge is coming down, self-destructs into the air, not going to be finding anything with that, but it's still going to be X6-Gaming quite handily winning the fight. As Dako gets taken out of the mech and eliminated. A full team wipe coming through as Element Mystic hits 89%. Flip will happen, X6 gain control, but Element Mystic now, they're the ones with the majority of the ultimates coming through. They might just be able to flip this back into their favor.
The big thing is, yeah, can they do the exact same thing that X6 do? Get into position, they have the armor, get into position for a shatter. They do not have the Graviton Surge, that's the big thing.
Yep.
That they do not have, that X6 would love to have.
Takes a ways away from that one, but that's going to be a shatter coming down, but it doesn't look like Poco was able to lock up anything. Gets the pin in onto Order, taking him low, and the self-destruct from Dako. It's going to find Godsby, it's going to knock Rhea out of the mech. No smite is going to be dead, and Element Mystic look to flip this one back over very rapidly with Bebe being the only one left alive, and as I say it, he will die.
A dominant performance here from Element Mystic, 10% to go. They do not try to reinvent the meta here on Nepal. They play their flawless map now. 4-0 on this map thus far.
Forward. They're just trying to gate them out, and I think they might have just been able to do it. There it is, 132 in the end. Element Mystic take this win on Sanctum. And one more round of Nepal is all that they need to qualify for their first semi-final.
And they just do it through standard compositions. This time they play to the meta as Jexay kills it on the Lucio, gets those environmental kills, 3 of them in total that came up big. They won the ult charge war, they won the first cap, and that's the most important thing when you're running these mirror compositions like this. And despite the fact that X6 retook it, they had to use everything. And Element Mystic gave them a taste of their own medicine on the follow-up push. But as we head into this next map, we'll see what it is. You can't see out of this gate. Okay, it is Village. Okay. So this is going to be the similar one. This is again where you see the mirror compositions, the same meta. Goats comps clashing into each other. The first capture is so important. The race here, using the low ground, win is won by X6, but Element Mystic can drop down and challenge.
See, swinging away, gets stunned up for the moment, but not going to be going down. Keeping everybody sustained. Popo down to half. This might stand alive this time, as we are dead even on these rallies from both of these Brigidas. Popo dangerously low. The spam coming back in from Repel will keep him sustained, but no spite's the one with the Earth Shatter ready. 30% still more to go. He's gonna drop it. He's gonna catch everybody. Godspeed goes down, but it doesn't matter. They just push back in. X6 X now Popo. All gonna be going down as X6 get this first cap.
Popo stepped back too far. He wanted to kite back to make sure that they didn't end up losing the trade on the tank war health-wise, but he stepped too far behind his teammates. He had the barrier up, but several of his teammates were standing in front of him and were caught by the shatter. So, ult advantage to Mystic. Technically there, they did more damage, but now they have to fight against a defensive setup here of X6. Let's see how Guard is able to make this happen. Can Rhea eat it?
Let's get a shatter down, but it doesn't matter. The bubble comes up immediately from Order, and he denies that one away. A big whiff for Popo. Coalescence down from both of these Moiras, just keeping everybody sustained as best as they can. Order's gonna toss the Graviton Surge, but I don't think it got anything. I think it might have been eaten by Dako here in the exchange. Sound Barrier now out for Element Missing as they look for the flip. Self-destruct to buy them some space here onto the point. They nearly get the cap, but they can't quite do it yet. No Smite pushes back in. He nearly has another shatter. Now it's gonna be online. Can he get this one ready to go? Can he hit another equally impressive one? The answer is gonna be yes! No Smite, lands it again, and they just swoop through, take Element Mystic, and they throw them into the dumpster.
Totally destroyed here, and now they hold still. Better ultimates in a lot of ways. They have the support ultimate lead right now. Again, positional advantage means they will build these ultimates faster. And twice now Popo has failed to deny no Smite shatters from getting massive value. He holds his own now, but even if Element Mystic get the capture now, we're going to have almost the same scenario that we just had on Sanctum, where it's just going to be one flip to end it all. Guard drops it in this time.
Graviton going to be coming through, does lock up everybody, but the kills haven't happened yet. Godspeed will get taken down, the pin coming through, finds one. It's 85% here for the side of X6 as they try to maintain control. No Smite finds the kill on the Jexay, but Roki's gonna die, so an exchange on the Lucio's coming through. Rhea now knocked out of the mech, the self-destruct from Dako, taking down the Baby Diva, and now Smite's gonna die. Element Mystics are working their way in on the point to try to get this cap before the overtime comes through, before they get that 99%. They will just barely be able to do so. 98 for X6, Element Mystic. They need this round on Village to close it out. Can they hold this all the way go in?
The only goal was to get the 99%. 99 is not what they got, but 98 is good enough. They have the ult advantage. They've got multiple different pushes they can use to make sure they have the big 6.
Barrier nearly ready. No Smite is going to be looking for it. Can he get the 3-peat? Tosses this one down. I think he caught maybe 1 or 2 members, but this time not going to be nearly as impactful. And Popo finds the opening kill as Godspeed will fall. Popo with his own shatter, trying to hold on to this, trying to kite back, but Rhea charges forward, gets the kill before the barrier can come down from Jexay. Graviton Surge out from Guard, locking everybody up, and the kills start coming through for Element Missing as they look to maintain control. Both supports going to be dying now, Order falling as well. This should just be an extended team wipe coming through. Element Mystic maintaining for now.
This is one of many defenses they will need, though. They're going to have at least 2 big pushes to deal with now. No Smite has no ultimate here. It's going to have to be on the back of Order. Guard used his Graviton well there. 2 big Gravitons for this player in this second map of Village here now that almost have guaranteed Element Mystic a victory here. Almost to semifinals. Godspeed leading off with the rally.
That rally going to be popped. Bringing that one through. Popo still holding on to this. Dako as well with the self-destruct. Can buy a lot of space and time. The push forward coming in. They get the pin into the corner here on a nose mine, but he's not going to go down yet. Graviton Surge going to be used. Popo swinging away, gets the shatter, and he locks them all down. Kills.
That might be the winning shatter.
The kills are a little bit late here. No Smite actually finds the first one. Jexay goes down. Popo exchanges back onto the Baby Diva. Guard with another Graviton Surge pins this one into the wall as they look for the fight, as they look for the kills.
Doing so much damage.
This one down. X6-Gaming so very close, 98%, but Element Mystic looking to surpass them. Order finds a kill here on the Dako, taking down the Diva, the pin coming through, trying to get the Zarya, but he manages to stay alive.
Okay, they have to get onto this point right now, X6, but they don't have the resources to do so.
Order, the sound barrier barely saves his life. No Smite still not in here.
No, they need to get on the point.
That's going to be the overtime coming through. Rhea does tag in. Order is going to die. They're looking for the back cap. Can they get it, Dako?
They have to get it.
Going to be looking to charge back through. They managed to make their way back in. Dako just drops a self-destruct, and Roki's going to be the first one to fall. X6-Gaming looking to get shut out of the playoffs. They try to tag back in, but they just cannot do it. An Element Mystic, they have punched their ticket to their first semifinals appearance here in Contenders Korea. X6-Gaming are defending Season 1 champions, will not make it back into that grand final.
What a crazy series we just saw, all the way to a Game 5. This time Jexay's in tears, but this time it's for a good reason. He's crying tears of joy because finally Element Mystic has broken the curse. The fans in tears as well. They will go to the semifinals. It was just 1 season ago we saw tears of sadness looks of defeat. They knew they choked. They knew that it was their win to take against O2 and tonight. It was arguably an easier opponent, but it was not without struggles. They pick maps that play to their strengths. They play the Torbjorn defenses. They get those 2 wins that bring us to a 5th game. They stay calm and collected. And they've done this. They've made the semifinals without Sparkle. They've adapted their playstyle. Guard has picked up so many different heroes. And they've defeated defending champions X6. So much on the line on that final map, but they were the ones that come up with the better ults, the more efficient ults, even when ult advantage was against them. What a series. And Element Mystic will go 1 step further than they ever have before.
But they have to square off against Runaway, the team in this tournament that has the most veteran status, has appeared in more finals than anybody else. That is going to be their opponent waiting for them on Sunday.
No one will ever speak ill of X6's consistency. But most people did not expect them to perform as well as they did in the semis tonight. They looked really good. And I think in a lot of ways they showed more depth than Element Mystic did. But Element Mystic had the better coordination when it mattered most, and they had the better mechanical skill. I think everyone would agree. And there you have it. That's the end of this round of 8. It's just, I mean, crazy storylines. And X6, the face of consistency, but not the face of a back-to-back champion tonight after this loss.
No, will not be able to defend their title, which means that we will have a new champion here in Season 2. O2 Ardient, the runners-up. They can't do it. Can't be them. Can't be any team that appeared in Season 1 Grand Finals. So new blood going to be on the market here for that championship. And we have to see. We have to wait a little bit longer to figure out who is really going to be contesting for that. Sunday is going to be our semifinals.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Element Mystic versus Runaway, what a lot of people expected to be the finals of Season 1. Neither of those teams appeared in finals. One of them will not appear in this finals because they will face off against each other on that fated Sunday match.
There can be only one. And the winner of that has to go up against the winner of, Kong du Panthera versus Metabellum in that semifinal. So a lot